Okay, so today I want to talk about this. It's an older Samsung DLP TV. It's an HLN as in Nancy 5065. And we'll see if it comes up on screen. Yes, there it is. Hopefully you can see it. We're having a fan problem on this one. It's telling me to check the fan 1, 2, and 3. Definite problem. So let's get into the back of this one and see what we can come up with. Okay, so I've got the set. I just turned it on. You heard the melody there. There the lamp's lit, and as you can see, the fans, they're not even turning whatsoever. These are the 3 fan plugs over here. Check the voltage. 0.018, 0.018, and 0.018. I don't want to leave the set on too terribly long. I'm going to unplug all 3 of these fans, just in case one of them is bad. We still get 0.018 on all 3 of these things, even with the fans unplugged. So I'm going to shut the set off real quick. And we'll talk about doing some troubleshooting to track this problem down. Next thing I'm going to do is put my meter in the ohm range. And I'm going to check where the fan lead is. Oh, and it's 0.9 ohms, very much too low to have a problem or to have the fans run. It should not be a short to ground in the lead. So let's see if we can find out what is shorted in here. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of advice from a friend of mine. I was up visiting Dave up there at Dave's TV in Grants Pass, Oregon the other day. He was telling me about troubleshooting a set with a short. So I thought this would be a great time to try this. I've never used this in the past, but I'm going to take my can of air. Once again, I'm going to turn it upside down to let the refrigerant out. And I'm going to start freezing this whole circuit, because right in here is the circuit that feeds the power to the fan. It's the regulation circuit. So it's going to build up ice. Next, I'm going to induce a current. So I've got a power supply here, and I've got it set up for 500 milliamps output right now. So I'm actually putting current, a small voltage, into that short. And what I want to do is watch these parts and see which one of them, if any of them, begins to lose its freeze the fastest. Then that most likely is going to be my culprit. So I noticed that this capacitor right here has lost its frost, as well as, look at this top one. I don't know if you could see that on the camera, but the very top capacitor lost all of its frost. The other 2 are still frozen there. So I think I'm going to take that top capacitor out of circuit. Actually, let me freeze this again just for the heck of it here. Just going to add just a little bit of freeze to these. I'm going to try to turn the current up just a little bit. Let's take a look and see what happens here. We'll see if one of these defrosts a little bit quicker than the other ones again. I can't quite tell. Yeah, it certainly looks like the very top one is defrosting. Yep, there it is. It's a very quick change. So it is defrosted. The other 2 capacitors down below it are still frozen looking. There they go. Okay, so I'm going to take that capacitor out of the circuit, and we'll try it again and see what happens. Alright, so I went ahead and replaced that capacitor. And let me get my ohm meter back in here in the same point. And as you can see, we do not have a short anymore. We have about 1700 K, or 1.7 K, 1700 ohms. So I'm going to go ahead and fire the set back up, and we'll plug the fans back into it. And we'll see if we get a positive reaction from this set now, if the fans begin to run. I can get the wires untangled. There we go. You hit the power and we'll see what happens. Let me get back far enough where you can see it again now. And you can see the fan is running this time. Let me get back on volts. We have about 7 volts. They run these 12 volt fans at a low voltage to be a little quieter than running the fans at full 12 volts. They'd really be humming at 12 volts. These sets don't actually need that much cooling. There is one fan, and it's kind of hard to see, but there's one fan over here that cools the ballast assembly that drives the lamp. There's a second fan down here that actually cools the lamp. Back behind the digital board that you can't see, there's a third fan that cools the DLP chip itself. And so that's why we were getting that message to check all 3 fans. And like before, if you want to check your fan, there's 3 leads. There's a red lead, a black lead, and a yellow lead. If you put your probe on the yellow lead, let me just, I don't know what fan is what, but if I stall, oh, I got the right one. If I stall that fan, you can see it goes up to 5 volts. Now the sensors on these fans, they're not rotation sensors. They don't send a tachometer pulse back to the microprocessor. They're just simply a stalled or not stalled indicator. So as long as the fan is turning, even if it's not turning at full speed, see, I've got the fan severely slowed down. It's not reporting back as an error until it virtually comes to 100% stop. Does it not report fan locked? So as long as that fan's turning at all, you'll see a low voltage there. If the voltage goes high, then the fan is stalled. Alright, and there we are back. The set's working perfectly now. No stalled fans anymore, no check fans. This is an older Samsung DLP TV. Samsung has not changed their service mode entry even on these old sets. This is one of the first generation DLPs. Just make sure that you have an actual Samsung remote. Make sure it's in the TV mode. On these sets it's pretty quick. They don't give you much time, but with the set on, you have to turn it off, wait for the melody, and then mute 182 power. If you do it quick enough, the lamp will stay lit and the set will immediately come back on in the service mode. From there you can go in, adjust your vertical and horizontal centering. That's the X and the Y on this one. You can tell it what type of lamp it has based on what type of ballast it has, so don't just change it if you put a different kind of lamp in it. You have to actually change the ballast. The delay right here, 224, is the color wheel index delay. You don't really want to mess with that unless you've changed the color wheel and you notice shadowing or solarization on the dark areas of the picture. You'll want to adjust that. Vertical flip and horizontal flip is just whether it changes the picture right side up or upside down. That's all. And horizontal flip changes it from right to left if you were to flip it. That's all that does. You can go into, let's see, the DNIE lets you adjust the gain, the color balance of the TV if you ever wanted to. There is a test pattern hidden in here, pattern select right here, so you actually can bring up some built-in test patterns if you want to look at some things. There's a color bar nest pattern to see if your colors are good or not. The shadows in this set is because of the high shutter speed I have on my camera. It's not actually a shadow on the set. There, it went away. It's just because I have my set for the high shutter speed. My camera set for the high shutter speed so I can get good low light performance. And let's see what else. In the option, very last one, option number 8, you can look at your lamp hours. The set's got very low hours, but I don't know if anyone's ever reset the lamp time because there is a lamp clear option on this one as well. Lamp clear. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's got very low hours on it, which may be a reason that capacitor has gone bad. It hadn't been used very much. Once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate all your views, your comments, your suggestions. I try to answer as many as I possibly can. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, NorCal715. With your help, we can keep these things out of the recycle bin and out of the landfill. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.